Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, in the morning, we discussed William Ruto, Gachagua, and Raila Odinga's reaction to the Supreme Court ruling on the LGBTQ plus community. But I feel there is unfinished business that we have not discussed on the same. That's why I have come back to bring this discussion on this punchline again. Because we all understand that the NGO board had refused to register an organization that was seeking to be registered for advocacy work in the LGBT community. They refused. So they took the NGO board to Supreme Court, and of course the ruling was in their favor to allow them be registered, be recognized, and run their activity, associate. And you know, when people associate, there is something that will lead to the next side, depending on the reason why they are associating. So Ruto came out very strong and he said that he will not allow that one to happen. It can never happen under his watch. And Gachagua said that he was shocked with the Supreme Court ruling and just wondering to see how men are going to associate with their fellow men and the women in that line. But then the question we want to raise here, because Raila Odinga was consistent. For Raila, he don't accept this and he's against it totally. Again, Raila Odinga was against the Supreme Court ruling on the 2022 presidential election petition. But the question I want to ask William Samoei Ruto, why is it that in 2022, he welcomed the Supreme Court ruling, but then when it came to this new ruling, he is against the same Supreme Court. And every day he has been telling Raila Odinga, respect the Supreme Court, accept the ruling, and go on. There's no any other thing we can do about this. This is a big question here, because again, in as much Ruto want to play politics or play smart in this matter, because he has sent the ground, the issue is that today William Samoei Ruto is against the same Supreme Court that ruled in his favor. So does this one make Raila Odinga to look like what he has been talking about is true? Because then, if Ruto is rejecting the ruling that has come from the same Supreme Court, it means that judges have made a mistake. So does this one qualify Raila Odinga's statement that judges made a mistake in 2022 presidential petition at the Supreme Court? There's one thing here that someone need to tell me in the comment section. Because in my view, I see that Ruto is making an argument unknowingly to what Raila Odinga has been talking about. The conduct of judges and their ruling, it was not fair. If today they made a mistake, then it means also there could be a possibility when Raila Odinga was talking, whatever he has been talking about, it could be true that they made a mistake during the other ruling. Because if Ruto wants to be consistent, then he has to agree with the ruling of these judges. Because even the other day he was telling Raila Odinga, hakuna mambo ya maandamano hapo, ukubali tu uamuzi na uendelee, koti ilifanya kazi yao ikamaliza. So why is it that today he will not say that koti ilifanya kazi yake imemaliza na watu waendelee hivyo kwa sababu koti imeamua? Ruto has opened another room to ask so many questions about the judges we have in the Supreme Court. And if indeed Ruto means what he's saying, that he don't agree with this ruling, then Raila has every reason to reject the other ruling and to tell Kenyans that those judges were ruling in favor of someone because maybe they were promised something or because they had interest in that person. Those are the questions that I feel we have to come back here and talk about. We know very well that ruling in the Supreme Court, many Kenyans cannot accept it. They will not welcome it, and they have refused. And Ruto is here because he has seen everyone is refusing. He's now joining everyone to refuse the same ruling. But then the question is, what if Kenyans had welcomed it? Will Ruto go ahead and reject it? It means Ruto is lying. He's rejecting it because he has discovered Kenyans have rejected. But then in his own way of lying, he's not smart. He has ended up exposing himself and justifying the issues that Raila Odinga has been talking about. And this has been seen evidently clear. If he has a doubt on Supreme Court, the way he's saying, then Raila has every reason to doubt the ruling they made. So this one is going to make the Azimio la Umoja supporters to believe that there is possibility these people favored someone because of some people who had their own interest in our election here in this country. I'm on Onaj. We are continuing with this panel discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please just consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all those who are watching, please just give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. By the way, what is your view on this? Kwa nini Gachagua ameshangaa saa hizi that the Supreme Court has made a ruling which is controversial? But in 2022, hakushangaa. He was happy with the same judges. This is a question that Gachagua needs to answer. Because we expected those people who celebrated the 2022 ruling to again today welcome this new ruling. It is coming from the same judges. Remember, they all agreed in the presidential petition ruling. There was no dissenting voice. All of them collectively agreed. So they have made another ruling today. Ruto and Gachagua needed to agree with this ruling. Because they have been telling Raila Odinga accept and move on. Judiciary have pronounced themselves on this matter. We cannot go that way. You cannot bully judiciary. So why are they bullying judiciary? If indeed they mean what they have been saying. Does William Ruto's response to the issue of LGBT give an opportunity for Raila Odinga supporters to come out in their numbers and demonstrate? Because now they believe that our judges are incompetent. Many people are saying that these judges were promised that they will get maybe some funding if they rule in that line. These are allegations. So, does it also prove that you can compromise our judges to make some weird ruling rather than following the law and just making sure that they're doing the right thing? It paints a picture that you can compromise them. And if that's the picture, then what stops Raila Odinga to believing that these judges were compromised during the presidential petition? To me, if Ruto does not agree with this ruling, he should not also agree with the 2022 presidential petition ruling. He should also reject the other one. And if he accepts the other one, he should also accept this one. Then we know these people are in agreement. It is not two-way. But today he wants to play politics here. Because he has discovered that it is not working in his interest. Let him be on that line. Let Gachagua be on that line. Ata huyu Mudavadi akwe hiyo line. Because that was their line. Then as me as they are coming out, the same way they rejected the 2022 presidential ruling, they are here also telling the same court, we don't agree with you. So for them, they have a stand. And I want to tell you, just by that move alone with Raila Odinga, he has gained a lot of trust from Kenyans. They believe the cause that Raila Odinga is taking and what he has stood for long time. But they will have every reason to question William Ruto's position. So he was coming out to defend himself because he knew politically he is going to lose. Muslims were here against him. Christians were here against him. So he had remained alone. He came in and now, unknowingly, he has fallen into Raila Odinga's trap. These are the questions the president must answer. Why now is wrong and the other time it was right? He has to agree with these judges. But we are saying we as Kenyans, we are not in that line. Because if you tell us that you have allowed people to associate, to form their group, we know because there is a reason why these people are associating. Kama mimi na wewe tunaingia kwa biashara tutajua tunaingia, we are cooperating in which way, we are associating in which way. Is it business wise? But if we have an agenda that we are pushing for, then you can tell the end game. So everyone knows that. Those are the questions that I wanted to bring here on this punchline, but I would like to read your views on this question. Is Ruto right to refuse the Supreme Court ruling today and the other day to accept the ruling? Or is Raila Odinga who is right here because he rejected the other one and is here to reject this one?